Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over the mount system in V-Rising. Now the mount system in V-Rising is not only going to allow you to obtain horses in some way and ride them around the map to help you move across the terrain faster, but you are also going to be able to do some mounted combat, primarily using the left click attack for whatever weapon you're currently using to be able to do drive-by attacks off of your mount. And the first bit of information we've gotten for this is in one of the first developer blogs, where they say mounts are the most effective way to travel the world. Once you find a horse, you don't want it stolen or slain by enemy vampires, so make sure to take care of your trusted steed. A feature I'm very fond of is mounted combat, which means you can use your weapon, not spell kits, while riding. And we're going to go over this more later in the video, but like I mentioned, you could only use the left click of whatever weapon you are currently using on your horse. Now you can switch between those weapons and use different left click attacks, but you're not going to be able to use all of your different spells while on horseback. And the next bit of information is a bit more substantial from another one of the developer blogs, and they talk about evolving their mount system. In earlier iterations, we found horses extremely valuable, but ultimately disposable. They weren't challenging to find in certain areas, and there was very little unique about them individually. One horse was just as good as another. However, there have been some changes. Horses now have randomized qualities offering differences in movement speed, rotation, and acceleration. So naturally, some will feel better to ride than others, and you'll quickly find yourself coveting your favorite mount. Of course, if you're going to have a favorite, you're going to have to be able to name it as well. The cherry on top is the addition of storage space, allowing your horse to carry your loot from place to place with even greater efficiency. So this evolution is that now horses will have randomized qualities that affect their speed, rotation, and acceleration, and they will also have their own storage. And this system is actually pretty similar to the Myth of Empire system, which is another survival game. Not sure if it's going to be as expansive, but in that game, the different horses you find will be different rarities, and those different rarities have different stats. So movement, acceleration, maneuverability, so very similar stats to what they're saying are going to be in V-Rising, but we're not sure how extensive this is going to be, if it's just going to be 3 stats that are completely randomized, or if there are going to be different horse rarities, or how all of those stats are going to end up working. We also don't know how we're going to find these horses out in the wild, if there's going to be a taming process, or if you just find a horse, get on it, and now it's yours. And we also don't know how other players are going to be able to interact with other players' horses, specifically when on PvP servers. They've already mentioned that you'll be able to kill other players' horses and steal them. Not sure how hard that would be. If another player can just come over and jump on your horse and ride away with it and now it's theirs, not exactly sure on all of those systems. But there is some additional information we can find from some footage and from some specific screenshots. Now, first off, from some of the screenshots, we can see a few different things when on horseback. So first off, you still have your left click, and it's still the same ability as if you were on the ground doing normal combat, and that is your basic weapon attack. And again, you'll be able to switch to any weapons you want and use their basic attacks on horseback. And that's pretty much the only ability we've been able to see that you're able to use on horseback. You're not able to use your full spell kit. So you'll be able to drive by enemies and just swing your basic attacks on them. And it does seem like the basic attacks of your weapons may have different effects or statting to them. So there might be a little bit more at play than just a basic hit. Then in all the screenshots, there is another ability on your bar when you're on horseback that looks like a horseshoe. And then you have a space ability, which just has a horse icon, which seems to be a speed boost. But then we also have some gameplay footage from one of the V-Rising gameplay trailers that shows a little bit more on how these horses are going to work. So first off, going and getting on your horse seems to be pretty quick. You also have a horse symbol on your minimap, so it's a green horseshoe. Presumably this is showing you where your horse or horses are on your minimap. Not sure if you'll be able to open up your map to the bigger map and see where all of your horses are from that, or if it's just a thing when you're close, you get to see their location. And then it seems that the horseshoe on your action bar is actually your dismount button. So you will be able to quickly dismount with that keybind. And it does seem that that dismount ability keeps the keybind of whatever ability is in that slot when you're on the ground. So if you have that ability slot with, say, a keybind of F, your dismount will also be on F. And then also that space ability ability that has the horse icon on it seems to be a speed boost ability. And I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work because in the gameplay, it does not put that ability on a cooldown. It could just be the work in progress UI and it didn't show the cooldown. Or maybe the horse has some type of energy. Not exactly sure on that, but that seems to be a speed boost ability or a speed up, maybe more of a sprint for the horse. And then when you dismount your horse, your character jumps up in the air and jumps off of the horse. Not sure if there's going to be any abilities that can interact with that. Like you jump off your horse so it jumps you in the air, then you use some slam down ability onto the ground or something like that. There is some possibility with that, but we have not seen that in any of the gameplay yet. And that's pretty much all the information I could find on the MOUNTS system in V Rising. There's still a lot of information we don't know. Like I mentioned, we don't know how you're going to go about obtaining these horses. We don't know how easy it is going to be to steal horses from other players. We don't know how the different stat rolls on horses are going to work, if there's going to be like different rarities and other stats applied to those horses, or if it's just those 3 stats we went over completely randomized. Not exactly sure, but it is pretty exciting that you have mounts you can go collect and you have some amounts of mounted combats on these horses. And since it is early access, there is always a chance that they add more abilities or more interactions with mounts and even possibly more mounts in the future. I would very much not rule out them adding additional creatures you can go tame and ride around later into the game's life. But that's pretty much all I want to go over. So subscribe if you want to see more V Rising or other videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about the mount system in V Rising. And thanks for watching.